folks, welcome to the channel. I do non-pop country music, and you got arguably the first guy. Well, he's not the first guy, but he's certainly the premier guy of non-pop. Hank Sr., Someday You'll Call My Name. I don't know this song, but it was a suggestion of David Jennings. And you said, David, that this is from 1949 and that Hank wrote it. So let's see what we've got. If you've been primarily a contemporary or Nashville country fan, welcome to traditional. You'll see once you start hearing the lyrics and get used to the instrumentation, the steel, the fiddle, and all that, it's very difficult to turn back and into repeat drum loop type of stuff. But you'll make up your mind on that. But here's Hank Sr. He's the real deal legend.
Someday you call my name and I won't answer. Someday you reach for me, I won't be there. For you've grown tired of all the love I gave you. But someday you'll wish that I still care.
That happens a lot.
All of these years, how I've loved you. Still I know I claim you for my own. Someday you'll call my name and I won't answer. For someday you'll find yourself alone.
I have seen this too many
Your
times in life.
hair has turned from gold to silver, and your eyes are dim by passing years. You'll remember, darling, what I told you. There'll be no one then to dry your tears.
That's so much truth.
There'll come a time in your life, dear, when you'll need someone who will care. Someday you'll call my name and I won't answer. For someday you'll find that I'm not there.
Now in that song, I mean, there's so much I'm paying attention to in this song that to take in. Even that seems like a simple song. There's a lot going on in that. But in here, it's almost like they're still together. But she's grown tired of all the love he's given her. I don't know what her issue is. I can say this, that some people are just they can't be satisfied. Or they have this sense of drama in them where, depending on family upbringing and what they got used to and such, they misread the person that they're with. And later on, they realize, wow, like I screwed up. I either was a hothead or I was unaffectionate or demanding or complaining or argumentative. I don't know, whatever it causes people. Now, I don't know what he was doing that caused the relationship to not work. He loved her a whole bunch. Love isn't enough. I've said this. Love is not enough, right? You need common interests. You need a certain measure of drive. You need to keep yourself in reasonable shape, not let yourself go. You need to have a certain measure of thoughtfulness for your partner. Finances are important and such. So there's like this dynamic, the way that's far more than love. Okay, relationships rarely die for lack of love. They die for lack of liking. They die for lack of respect. But holy cow, the way Hank sang this too, this is way too real, because the older I've gotten, the more I've seen this play out in life. where people have regrets over having dumped somebody. Yeah, that's one of the things that I try, when younger couples that I'll be either life coaching with or who are just in my life, and I will share with them the way life goes and what to look out for. They're going to have their difficulties, and some of them will get in touch with me because they are. And then I'll say, look, here's how, let's compartmentalize life. You've got your 20s where, you got your whole life ahead of you. You're in love. You get married. Your 30s, maybe you start to have kids, and then you start getting tired. And you have decisions relating to the kids, not just one another. And maybe you were brought up different than the way your husband or wife was. And then you start arguing about that. And then finances come into play. And so you can start to argue a bit. Tiredness is generally a big part of it, but you're making the transition from being just the two of you to having a family. And that's a huge transition. Then you hit your 40s and you're like, gosh, is this all that life is? Because you're still tired because your kids are now teenagers and now you got those stresses. And then whatever, you don't have time for one another and you feel like you don't love the other person anymore. So you say, I'm going to file for divorce. Now, 70% of divorces are filed by women. So maybe, the child rearing process is difficult. So maybe they just think, well, my knight in shining armor is no longer that. And maybe he let himself go. I don't know, whatever the difficulties are in relationships. Every relationship is unique, but some of them, most have a commonality. If you can make it through your 40s into your 50s, and then sort of project forward when you're in your 60s and 70s, the things that you place so much importance on when you're younger, you actually will look back and laugh at, because the couples that make it and say, we're not going to get divorced. We just don't want this. It's too painful. Maybe for a while we sleep in separate bedrooms, but we're not getting divorced. We don't want to do that to our kids. We don't want to do it to ourselves. What happens is when you get back, your kids move out of the house and then you start having grandkids and you're on your own, just the two of you again, you can look back and laugh and actually talk about things again. But instead, some people say, you know what? We're going to get divorced and split. Then you got to go find a new partner. And then you got to hope that works out. And I think the statistics were 50% of marriages end in divorce. 70% of second marriages end in divorce. So it's not like you built up this library of understanding. And as you get older, you might become less tolerant. That's not me. I made sure decades ago that I would always remain curious about life and wanting to become a better version of myself and not fall into that common trap of just becoming set in my ways. So far, so good. But in this song, that's why I said this song is more complex, complicated than it was. The way Hank sang it. I don't know if this was 3 chords. You guitarists can tell me. I don't know that much, but it was the truth. And whether she regretted it later, I don't know. But it's one of these deals where you think you're going to just start a better life and you go out there and ouch, just ouch. David Jennings, yikes, yikes, yikes. I'm going to rate this song, and that song is a 10. On truth factor alone, that's a 10. Hank Sr., no surprise there. All right, folks, have a great day. Just try to be patient, because life has a way of getting better if you stick with the partner you started with. See you in another video. Have a great day. Keep rocking the country.
You'll remember, darling, what I told you. There'll be no one then to dry your tears.